lies. The contract, is it worth the price? A soul pledged to the darkness. Now I've lost it. I know I can kill. The truth exists beyond the gates.
Hey, this is the RubyDragon AK-47 with another Wi-Fi battle for you guys. Okay, so this is it. It's me against my buddy RubyDragon. Hope you guys enjoy the match, and I hope you guys like to comment, rate, subscribe, and you know the rest. So yeah, guys, let's get to the match. So, Ruby here leads off with the Wifi, and I lead it off with my Dusknoir. It looks like an even matchup, and then he goes into his Victini, which is one Pokemon that Dusknoir should not be fighting in the beginning. But I switched out anyway, predicting the Wifi to probably try and go in front of the Night Slash, and I go into my Ovenator, goes for the Volt Switch on the Victini, like a pro. So yeah, now I go back into Dusknoir, predicting a fire move or some weird move. Nothing special, but he goes for the substitute, faking me out, and I go for the Shadow Sneak, breaks the sub, but honestly, Victini is not one Pokemon I should be trying to fight with a Dusknoir, in all honesty. Especially since it's a special attacking one and not a physical one like I predicted. Since it was not physical, Dusknoir, it cannot compete with this thing. So, I go for another Shadow Sneak, does a good chunk, but it won't KO the Victini, obviously. And without it being physical, this Victini will easily take me down. So yeah, Dusknoir is down for the count, and it is looking bad. It was a bad start for me, but I have to get back in it. So I go into Ovenator here. He predicts my Volt Switch, and honestly, I should have known that he would have predicted it. I should have just gone for the Overheat, because no matter what, it would have KO'd, even if he switched. And that would have been a great move on my part. So he goes for the Stealth Rocks now, and he's in a prime opportunity. I go for the Leech Seed here on the Steelix, and it is not looking too bad for me. Meganium can actually help me get back in this match, as long as I keep his Pokemon at bay, and not let them get too power hungry. So he brings back in Victini. I should have gone for the Energy Ball like I wanted to, but I went for the Protect. So yeah, Ruby really knows how to mess around with my Pokemon. But luckily I have my Seabiscuit on my team who can quad resist the Fire Blast easily. And yeah, Victini will die to its Life Orb, and that thing is out of the way without too much damage being done. Except for the Dusknoir, which is really a big loss. So now he goes into his Latios, thinking he can go for the Draco Meteor KO. I bring in my special defense Meganium, who will have lived this Draco Meteor, but he gets a crit here. So yeah, Meganium is down for the count, and it's one of my most needed Pokemon on this team, because it really gets the job done when needed. So now, I have to go into my Jirachi. He will go for the T-Wave, but he predicts me perfectly, and goes into his Steelix, which will resist it, and there is nothing really Jirachi can do here now. So I will be forced to switch out Jirachi, and go into my Ovenator, predicting the Earthquake. So yes, that's what I proceed to do, and Ovenator comes in. Ovenator is the perfect switch in, because the Levitate did actually help as he went for the Earthquake. So it is looking great for me right now. I go for the Overheat, but unfortunately his full HP came back, so his 30 will activate, and he'll get a chance to really hit this thing hard. Unfortunately, he makes even smarter play and goes for the Toxic. And yes, so now my Ovenator is really going to be hurt by this Toxic over and over, not to mention when I have to switch it out. So I go for another Overheat just to KO that Steelix and get it out of the way. And at least it's not looking too bad. My Pokemon are not in the greatest condition as of now, but at least I can't fight against that. So yeah, he goes back into Latios, and there's no way I can hit it with the Overheat, so I'm forced to go into Jirachi. He will resist the Draco Meteor, and live with more than half. So, it was a pretty good switch in. Unfortunately, I wish Jirachi could have took it better, but, you can't be beggars when you're choosing, or whatever that saying is, I don't know. If you guys know it, type it in the comments, because I really... Oh yeah, beggars can't be choosers, that's it. So yeah, Jellicent comes in now, and I go for the T-Wave, and then I commence the Zen Headbutt flinch attack. The usual Jirachi. Flinch everything until it dies, so it can't do anything back to you. And it's actually a pretty decent combo. I actually kind of feel cheap for using it every once in a while, but hey, it's fun to use sometimes. And sometimes you gotta let yourself use some of those overused pokes that are just Omega overused, just so you can say, oh, I used them at least before. So yeah, I just keep flinching. He gets off a Scald here. I'm hoping not for the burn, and I get lucky enough that it doesn't happen. But unfortunately, Jirachi doesn't get to go back to full HP like I wanted before I killed this gelatin. But it's not too bad. Jirachi is one Pokemon I know I can depend on, even in some of the toughest situations. So Jirachi goes and finishes the last Zen Headbutt, and he goes into his Venusaur now. I go over to the T-Wave here. I really didn't need to T-Wave it, but I just need that Paralyze Hacks just in case. And the Venusaur gets paralyzed. So you see right there, that's actually one of the benefits. So right here, he switches out on the Weavile, predicting the Zen Headbutt perfectly, and he knows what he's doing. So yeah, I go over the Zen Headbutt, he predicts it perfectly, and there's really nothing I can do about that. So now, he will hit me with the Fake Out, and he is just trying to get off some extra damage before he can do anything. He knows I'm going to go for the T-Wave again, and makes another great prediction and goes back into the Venusaur, who I cannot touch with T-Wave. So Ruby here, he honestly knows how to work around, even in some of the harshest conditions. I go for the Iron Head, just thinking, oh, no matter what, just gotta hit that Venusaur hard. But I should have honestly went for the Zen Head, but I just didn't want that Weavile coming back in, and thinking that it would be free to do as it wanted. So here, after doing the first Iron Head, I probably should have gone for the Zen Head, because it would have done much more damage, and I could have just stayed in. But instead, I decided to go into my Easy Bake, which is a pretty decent prediction, except that he makes a double switch into his Weavile, which is honestly a really great move by Ruby, and my Easy Bake will now pretty much die. So yeah, it is not looking good for my team. But now I can bring in Rekion, one of my best, most trusted Pokemon. I should have gone for the Stone Edge here, but I decided to go for the X-Scissor because it was my safest move for the rest of his team. But unfortunately, X-Scissor does almost nothing to Venusaur. So I'm forced to switch out again, go back into Jirachi, knowing I can resist most of the Venusaur's moves. And he goes for another Leech Seed. I'm not fearing the move too much, because I know Jirachi can just switch out again, and I always have Wish on it, just whenever I get into a difficult spot. So yeah, Jirachi is not too bad, is not in that bad of a situation. So now I switch out to my Kingdra, hoping to get a good turn. He goes for the Curse, which really does not help the situation anymore, and he gets +1. But luckily his Venusaur is not that powerful, as I go for the Dragon Dance, and he goes for a boosted Stab Seed Bomb, and it doesn't even KO my Kingdra. So yeah, that tells you a little something. Venusaur is a way better special attacker, but you know, Venusaur is still no Pokemon to be messing around with when the situation calls for it. Honestly, if that was a Torterra, I would have been in more trouble, because Torterra is just a monster with Curse. So yeah, Venusaur is paralyzed again. I'll go for another Dragon Dance, trying to take this opportunity. And Ruby here makes a decent move. He goes for the Leech Seed, knowing that at least he'll get some recovery and his Pokemon will be safer, so he can take the hits. I go for Outrage. It does over half. It does an amazing chunk. But as Ruby goes for the Curse, and he really makes it tougher. But yeah, after the Leech Seed recovery, it looks like there's no way I should be able to KO him. But since it's Venusaur isn't the greatest defensive wall, even with the Curse, I'm able to finish him off with another Outrage. Unfortunately, I don't get 3 turns of Outrage, and his Weavile will be free to come in and hit me with the Fake Out. So Weavile hits me with the Fake Out. Didn't even really matter if I had 3, and he gets a little Leech Seed recovery. Here I was just going for luck. Unfortunately, luck was not on my side, and yeah, my Kingdra hits itself, and the Night Slash will finish it. But it's unfortunate that I lost Kingdra, but it's also fortunate that I still got Rekion the Rekion. So yeah, I hit him with the X-Scissor, almost KOs, but he has the Focus Sash. Oh no, he doesn't even have the Focus Sash. He just barely lives it, actually. I know he has the Focus Sash though. And he goes for the Ice Shard, hits me. Barely does half. Honestly, it may have done less than half. And I hit the Weavile with the X-Scissor and finish it. Now here, I go for the X-Scissor on the Latios, but Latios, being the freaking monster that it is, lives it no problem. So now I'm forced to take the Side Shock and die. So there goes my Rekion. But it's okay, because I have my Sakura left. Now I was thinking he was a Specs Latios, but unfortunately he's not. He goes for the Thunderbolt and does a good chunk, and he gets the Paralyze Hacks, and I get paralyzed. So it's not looking good here. Honestly, if Ruby went for the Draco Meteor, he may have been able to KO me here. But lucky for me, he went for the Thunderbolt again, and then I go for the Iron Head to finish it off. Honestly, the Draco Meteor was a 50-50, but it would have been close. Great game, Ruby. Thank you for the match. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Ruby is a epic battler. Yeah, so all I gotta say, guys, comment, rate, subscribe. Also, I'm using Sony Vegas 10, so yeah, I'm using Sony Vegas 10. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and that's all I really gotta say. I'm John, AK-47 out.